Hello people and welcome back to my Project Gotham Racing 2 Platinum Run Part 3. This time it's the new series again, and the new series is called Coupe Series. The first two were the Compact Sports Series, the second was the Sports Convertible Series. So now the third one is called the Coupe Series. And thus it is part 3. Each part of my video series represents the car classes, e.g. the Kudos Championship classes of the game. And yeah, that's basically it. So welcome back to part 3 again in the Coupe series, and as you can see, the first car we're racing is a wonder, a Coupe, in that case a BMW M3 2003 model, and yet again we are racing in a new location. I'm pretty sure, oh no, not entirely, now I remember, in the first part we did race in Sydney already. So yeah, that's Sydney, but which we have already seen, but it's a new track configuration, and at night, and as far as I know we haven't raced in Sydney at night yet, maybe even not at night at all, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, it's a new track. Nothing too exciting about it, except it's a new game mode again, which in German is called Rennen mit Zeitvorgabe, which translated would mean something like a race with a set time limit. But the basic idea behind this mode is that that's 2 hot laps in a row. You also have the hot lap mode in the game, which will come later if we haven't seen it already, like where you do 1 lap around the track, which is typical for a normal hot lap. But this mode, which is called, I don't know, differently, it's called weirdly, you just do 2 hot laps in a row. The advantage of this means, of course, that you can like work up one of those 2 laps a little bit, but consequently it would mean that the second lap or the other lap would need to be much better, like far above average. But yeah, it comes down to being a hot lap mode where you just do 2 laps in a row instead of 1. And I have talked too much already again, I'll just leave you alone with the rest of the video. So that was the first race, and the next one is in Sydney again, at night again, a different track layout, but we are driving the M3 again, of course, this time in white color. It's a street race this time. Quite a few opponents: Audi TT, Honda Integra Type R, 2003 model if I'm not mistaken, Mazda RX-8, and at the front, obviously again the class leading cars, which is also my car, BMW M3. And the Audi Rs6, if I'm not mistaken. They are both pretty equally quick, while the M3 still has a slight acceleration top speed advantage. In the corners it's also a little bit quicker than the Audi, I would say, but it's more difficult to control, being rear-wheel drive, front engine rear-wheel drive, while the Audi has all-wheel drive. Well, it was, after all, they were who invented it basically with the Audi Quattro 82 model, 1982 model. Yeah, a little bit of automotive history right there. So, I haven't paid attention myself too much, so this was 2 or 3 laps race, I believe 3 laps, yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was a rather tough one. Yet again, I needed a few tries. It's not like I did most of the races first try. It's the other way around. In most cases, I needed several tries. Everything ranged from 2 to 10, 15 tries. Depends. Mostly it were 3 to 6 tries or something like that. There were some rare instances where I did it from the first time of but with the first try, and in some other rare instances I needed more than 10 tries because, well, I don't know, because it sucked. That's right. So racing the other BMW here, the Audi fell a little bit much to the back, and well, that was close. That was very close. So yeah, the RM3, I even remember vaguely this race. It was a pain in the A. Like, this guy was quick. Look at him go. Oh, that corner was just nice. Did you see that? And just like that, I did Overtaking. And I believe that must be for this race. He's in my draft now, in my slipstream. Yep, there it is, and we earned ourselves 1,097 kudos. Anyway, I leave you as always alone with the replay. Next challenge is a lightning machine challenge again. Let's make it an insider joke on this video series. Lightning machine, because for those who have not watched my previous parts of the series, is basically the German word for a speed trap, like if you would translate it word for word. Blitzgerät, lightning machine, well, that's a speed trap in German. And we Germans like to name our things that way because we are weird and pragmatic like that, you know. Like an airplane would be a Flugzeug, fly stuff. A car can be named as a Fahrzeug, drive stuff, because we like to name our stuff by its name. I'll name our stuff as stuff, as it is. Okay, anyway, the next race is a head-to-head in Sydney again, at the night again, and we ourselves are using the BMW again, obviously, and are racing another M3 as the class leading car yet again. It's no wonder it is used by the game in a head-to-head, because, yeah, quite surely it is the fastest car of its class. Slightly behind it would be the Audi Rs6, and after that, well, difficult to say. All the cars besides those two of this Sports Coupe series are quite a bit slower than them. I like this section a lot. You can do it completely full throttle, pedal to the metal. He's being aggressive there. I have talked about that in the second part of my video series about the aggressive, very good, very advanced and human-like AI in this game, by which I was very impressed. This little S-turn section, here you can actually use the left or right lane, like it splits into two parts, and he chose the right lane. Both have their advantage and or disadvantage, depends how you drive the section before it, which one you would take. So again, this quick part of the track, well, here you kind of need to go full front in order to have enough speed. And that should be it. Yeah, there we go. Have fun with the replay. So the next challenge is a cone challenge again, this time in Stockholm, And for the first time we're doing 2 laps in a row, which will remain the same for the remainder of the game. Now look, between those 2 pairs, the points got collected because I was too slow. Did you see that? If not, well, rewind back. It's weird because they have designed this challenge so that you cannot link the first 2 cone pairs together. This is why I chose the Audi, because it has the best acceleration of the class we're driving in the sports coupe, the coupe class, even better than the M3. And like I was sure it would be enough, like it's because of the car that those 2 cannot be chained together, but apparently not. They've just designed it to be that way. Although you can avoid it by doing a little drift between those 2, between the 2 first cone pairs, so that the combo would not break and you would have at the end a longer combo, kudos, chain combo, and have a higher chance of actually winning this challenge. But as I am demonstrating here, you don't necessarily need those 2 first cone pairs. You can still win it by not chaining them for a little drift. You just need to drive quickly enough and do enough slides like here, which are quick and prolonged, so you would collect more kudos points in order to win the challenge. Tricky challenge. I needed over 4 hours. This part is very tricky. You need to basically drift almost everywhere where I drifted as well, because if you don't, you will be just too slow and the combo chain will break in most cases. Like if you're absolutely on the limit, if you are driving really perfectly and have a super ideal racing line, then it's actually rare that you need to slide, because if you do drive perfectly with a very ideal racing line, you are in the most cases really quick enough between those cone pairs without the combo chain breaking. And that was that. 14,921 points. I incorporated something new for this cone challenge, a replay in this view, because it just looks a little bit cooler. Like it's a little bit more thrilling or engaging. I don't know, it just looks cool because the camera is set so low and it looks quicker, and you have another chance at observing how you can win this challenge. So this part here is also very tricky. Here, when you brake, the car tends to be very unstable, and you couldn't really see it, but you have to basically move the wheel, if you want, so to the left and to the right, in order for the car to stay stable, because otherwise it just slams into the wall, you know. Here also a rather tricky part. You need to be really quick. For those cones here, I decided to drift in order not to risk the break of the chain combo. And this part here, all is about speed, a lot of acceleration, just a little braking here. Then again, full throttle all of the time, pedal to the metal, and hard brake, not too much, a little slide, and again, pedal to the metal, full throttle. So here, this right-hander, you need to brake a little, I believe. It helps, and if you put a slide in there, you're guaranteed not to break the chain combo. Did you see here how it turned to the left? This is what I meant, that it gets unstable at this part of the track, so be careful there. Here I was actually a little too slow, and I was really close to breaking the chain combo. It fortunately and obviously did not happen as I won the challenge, but yeah, I was so close to it. I believe I did mention it already, I'll say it again. For this challenge alone, I needed certainly about 4 or 5 hours. It was the first con challenge which went over 2 laps in a row, and I had my problems with it. So 14,921 points. Let me just check how much I actually got there. Excuse me, how much is actually needed in this challenge. So yeah guys, I just checked. Apparently there's a lot of shit fuckery going on with the recording replay system of the game. Not only, as I have already explained, does the game not show any gears or speed or any other important telemetry and data during the replays. No, that's not enough. It also records the kudos in the wrong way, because at the end of the race, if you have a clean race, it means if you do not smash into a wall or to an opponent, like you can touch the wall or an opponent, but you cannot smash into them. So if you're not smashing into them, you're getting a clean race bonus after the end of the race. And this bonus is 250 kudo points. So apparently in the replays, at the end of a race, it is never shown that you have had a clean race bonus of 250 kudos points. So in this challenge I did not do 14,000, what was it, 700, 900 plus points. No, I did exactly 15,171 points, barely beating the game's well, what the game expects of you. The game expects 15,000, and I had 171 above that. But then again, I also saw that I did not record my best replay, which is just stupid because I'm a dumbass. Nope. Apparently, I had over 20,100 points as my top combo, my best result in that challenge. But I recorded the 15,171 points result, of which the game shows only 14,000 plus, because it just doesn't show the clean race bonus. It doesn't make any sense, but this is what is happening. Okay, so that was the con challenge, and the next one is the second overtake challenge in the game. This time in Stockholm, not in Moscow, and this time in the third series of the game, in the Coupe Series in Stockholm. I'm using again the BMW M3 because outside of the con challenge it's the best car, although it might even be the best car in the con challenge too. Actually, it depends on your driving style. If you like a very stable car like the Audi Rs6, then it's the better car for, I mean, pretty much any challenge in the series. And if you just like just a tad more speed and a little bit of tail happiness, then the BMW is the car to go. It's a little bit more fun, for sure. So, if I counted right, we overtook 2 cars by now. This overtake challenge is slightly longer, should be slightly longer than the first one from the last series in Moscow with the Porsche Boxster S. So there's the third car we overtaking, Toyota MR2. Before that we overtook the Mazda MX-5 and also the Toyota? I haven't seen it now. Maybe the Audi TT. Probably the Audi TT. So yeah, this track isn't as easy as it looks though. In general it looks, in the replays, like, or for a viewer it looks always much easier than it is, because this whole part in the last like 30 seconds is a very bumpy part of the track, where you need to counter steer all the time. Alright, fourth car, the BMW Z4 we've overtaken now. And there's already the next one, the fifth car. Which we will definitely get on this straight very long straightaway where we can play our muscles. Oh, the Z4 again in black. Yeah, there was some nice cornering. I've done that pretty well. That was almost ideal, basically. Pretty much perfect. So here, this is the part which is very bumpy. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but the car is really jumping around and you need to do a lot of counter steer. And here too. Yeah, there you can see it. It gets very easily very unstable. The angle and the speed and the throttle and braking input must be just right. So this should be the 6th car, if I did count right. I'm not sure though. There was the Honda S2000 in beautiful yellow, also very good car, just a great car, very good looking, good sounding, and revs up to 8,500 RPM. Yeah, what a car. Okay, the long straightaway again, where we have the big advantage, and this should be the last car. And of course it's the fastest one, the Porsche Boxster S, in which we did the first overtaking challenge in the streets of Moscow. Nice detail with the tram in the background, and that was it for this race. Have fun with the replay. So the next round is in Stockholm again, only one lap this time because it's the hot lap, the mode I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video. Well, yeah, just as the name suggests, it's just a hot lap, and regularly a hot lap is one lap around the track. This is what you do. Took the BMW obviously again. Again, it's the best car. On the track itself, I was pleasantly surprised. It isn't too hard. This track layout was rather forgiving in a way, if you want so, and not too difficult to drive. I believe I did this challenge the first try or the second try, so yeah, not too hard. Okay, have fun watching the replay. Okay, so the next race is yet again in Stockholm, and yet again we're taking the BMW M3 as our car of choice. And this time is a street race against 6 opponents, if I counted correctly. Yes, Mazda RX-8, Honda S2000, Audi TT. What was there again? 6 or 7 opponents. Here's the 350Z or Z. What was English, what was American? Z or Z? Comment below. Then the Audi Rs6 overtook this, and now is the nemesis of the race. Obviously, our brother, the second BMW M3. There I lost my clean race bonus, because if the game does this sound and the K on the right upper hand corner of the screen, which stands for kudo points, turns red, then that means that you have, well, quite severely bumped into a wall or an opponent. And if you do this once in a race, you'll lose your clean race bonus of 250 points. And there it was the second time. Not too bad though. Oh, a new track layout in Sweden. Very beautiful. Enjoyed it in general rather a lot, the tracks in Sweden. Really cool tracks, like beautiful architecture, good flow. Not too hard, but certainly also not too easy. Good challenge. Great track design, definitely. There are other cities in the game you will see later, which well, they definitely do not have such a good flow as the tracks in Sweden. Especially Shanghai it was. I believe it was Shanghai in China. Yeah, I didn't like those tracks too much, honestly. And the tracks in Chicago, they were cool. I liked Chicago as a city. I don't know why I like its flair. I always liked it in the movies and stuff. I can tell you why. I have never been to the US. I have never been in the USA, so I don't know why. But yeah, it always appealed to me. But from the driving flow itself, Chicago wasn't as bad as Shanghai, but possibly the second worst city in terms of driving flow. gained already 1,222 kudos points, which isn't bad. But getting back to the clean race bonus, while 250 points isn't huge, it is quite a considerable amount for a single race. Like if you realize that you do over 100 races in the entire kudos championship, and if you would really put effort into it, then you could do roughly 100 clean races. That would be 25,000 extra kudos points, which is a lot. So yeah, it's from time to time it's definitely worth it to not be too dirty in the driving, as I am too often, I think, and just get that extra bonus of 250 points. Although there are races like this one where it's certainly not impossible, cool camera, but still very difficult to get the clean race bonus because the tracks are pretty bumpy. By the way, this track is, at least in German, called Inselhüpfen, which would be island jumping, which alludes possibly to the fact that you're driving on multiple parts of the city which are connected through bridges, which was the case, and possibly to this very bumpy part of the track I have described earlier. So yeah, this particular track part is indeed pretty bumpy, and thus it's making it very hard to complete this race without crashing too much and getting the clean race bonus. So anyway, enjoy the replay. We have about 15 seconds left. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you liked it, and if you did, please leave a like, a comment, maybe a sub, maybe share it, and well, I will see you all in the next one.